Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yeni Utami, and today I want to share what's on my thoughts about racism happens in America. But before I talk about its racism, I would like to build the context first, and it has relation with American history. So, the original inhabitants of America were Indians who came from Mongoloid race, a race that developed in Asia and was characterized by brown skin, black hair, black eyes, and not too tall. However, since Christopher Columbus began his journey in search of the Indian continent, which is spice-producing continent, Columbus instead landed on the continent occupied by the Indian tribe and then called it as America, and the indigenous people who were the Mongoloid race were then called by Columbus as the Indians. The Indians arrived on the America continent because they followed their hunting animals until they arrived on the America continent. However, a few later, Europeans invaded almost all land on Earth. Europeans also reached the American mainland and then they want to claim it to be used as settlements for European nations. Because Europeans at that time had more advanced technology and thinking than Indians, they could easily take American land. Then the Indians had no other choice but to withdraw from American land, and this opportunity was then used by Europeans to migrate to the America and start their social life. So that currently what we made in America are mostly white people. Then in the 16th until 18th centuries, when Europeans carried out a massive invasion of almost all land on earth, they forcefully brought many black people, especially those from Africa, to America to serve as slaves. The These black people were forced to work and even raped and were also not given a decent living by the Americans who later became their owner. This then became a common thing in American society. Even one owner could have up to 50 slaves. And these white people really treat them in the most cruel way, did not hesitate to kill them if they disobeyed them. And not only were they used as slaves, white people at that time were exploited on a large scale for the benefit of white people. For example, as the Dr. Sims case, who is known as the father of world gynecology. He carried out various kinds of experiments on slaves, like the experiments that related to reproductive organs, and Dr. Sims conducted a number of experiments and success in finding a treatment for vesicovaginal fistula or leakage resulting in continuous reproduction of urine and feces by forcing slaves to have continuous intercourse. Due to this discovery, he was later called as the father of gynecology in today's modern medical world. And it is indeed very sad when we hear this story because someone gained honor through inhuman exploitation of other humans. Thoughts and view of black people as slaves and lower classes types of human beings have persisted in modern times, especially in America. Racism in America has the highest level compared to countries in other parts of the world. White people are very unwilling to acknowledge the existence of black people in America, and most of them even carry out unprovoked shooting murders against black people. And this then also gave a bad view of black people in America. Many Americans or white people are disgusted by the physical appearance of black people in America, assuming that black skin doesn't reflect cleanliness and tend to be synonymous with dirty things. So it can be concluded that the main reason why discrimination against Black people in America is so widespread is because of the historical elements between its Black people or African people and its America, which is later become the way of life of their own people to this day. And this condition then caused the structure of society in America to also change, to adapt to the views of white people because they felt that America belonged to them. So they had the power to control all areas of life in America. White people then thought of various ways to continue to prioritize themselves over Black people, which then become known as white privilege. And the first is in the field of work. People tend to view America as a country that they can consider when looking to improve their economic condition. And because America claims to be a country full of freedom, many people are interested in going to America and trying their luck. But however, in America, there are still many job opportunities that look at and consider a race of origins of the applicants. And the applicants who came from or have white skin or came from European nation can mostly be accepted more easily compared to the people who are Black. And apart from this, when Black people are accepted into a job, they tend to experience discrimination from other employees. For example, they are often asked for a help to do work that is not even their responsibility, and they were also sometimes paid slightly less than white people in general. And there was also exploitation of the working hours of Black people in America. And in the scope of social life at school, there are also quite a few cases of bullying carried out by students against other students due to the differences in skin color. They tend to carry out aggressive action towards their Black peers, and they do not even hesitate to exclude this student from the social environment at school. And Black students also receive discriminatory treatment from the local government. For example, I'm sorry, when they want to continue their education at university. The average university in America still has a low view of Black students where they are considered as stupid, less dignified, rude, and also weak in their economy. So that a quite a few university then refuse to enroll those students without clear reason. And racism in America doesn't stop in this field. In political field, it can also be seen in American history, which only had one Black president, Barack Obama, and this shows that even in the political field, the opportunities and freedom of citizens to nominate themselves as the representatives of the people are also limited, especially if the people are Black. And racism in America also influenced a law regarding the residence of the white and also Black people. There was a law legally recognized by the state where Black residents were required to live apart from the white residents. Black people were encouraged to create their own housing complexes. And on average, Black people's housing complexes were considered less strategic and different from the land inhabited by the white groups. And apart from the change in the law field, racism also caused a lot of international destruction in America. At this time, what is still happening is the large-scale demonstration that are often carried out by the Black people in America to question their freedom and equality. When Black people commit a crime, on average, they are punished in the most cruel and inhuman way by authorized officer. And especially if the officer is a white person. An example is the case that happened to George Floyd when he was accused of using counterfeit money to buy a pack of cigarettes, which then ended by Floyd being killed at the hand of the official police, who forcibly restrained Floyd by holding Floyd's neck and with his knee, so that Floyd was then killed because he was out of breath. Even though it is known that Floyd did not put up any resistance, even until the end of his life, he only mumbled that he could not breathe properly. And this case then caused most of the citizens of the United States to hold massive demonstration against the very bad racism towards black people, especially if the black person committed a crime that was not even considered that big. And however, the massive demonstration movement was not only carried out by the black people. Most of the white American population has also gained self-awareness regarding the importance of equality. So many demonstrations were held demanding equality and freedom for black people to live in America. When we talk about the right way to eradicate racism in America, what we can be done must not only came from the community itself, but the government support also needed, where society must start to educate themselves and change the way they view black people. They must be able to view all the types of races in America is equal, and then the government in America can little by little change the law that favor white people to be neutral. The government must also be able to support the neutralization process in society. For example, the government began to ensure that white people had equal employment, that the black people had equal employment opportunities were paid for wages. So I think that's all from me, and thank you for listening me.